Good afternoon. I'm Leon Guthrie. I'm the oldest son of Travis and Lucy Guthrie. I attended West Fannin High School from the inception in September of 1955 until I graduated in June of 1958. The time I was there, I had the opportunity and the good fortune to play football, basketball, baseball, and run track. These were good years for me. Wow, what an honor that the Fannin County Sports Hall of Fame have bestowed on this old mountain boy. Well, Dad, your dream of Fannin boys having the opportunity to play football has come to fruition. It's August 1955. Coach Buddy Paget welcomes about 60 boys to the campus of Epworth to begin practice. Our field at West Fannin was not ready at that time, but Coach Paget gathered us and divided us into smaller groups, and we began to learn the fundamentals of football, blocking and tackling. I was a rising sophomore that year, but there were 3 seniors on that team that taught me a lot about preparation. Charlie Woodall taught me that everything we did at full speed and 100% effort. Jim Fry confirmed what Dad had taught us, that you worked hard day after day, week after week. George Weiss, I learned from him about determination and desire. You see, George broke his hand midway through the season, and it was in a cast. But before every game day, he had that cast cut off and his hand wrapped in foam rubber, and he played that evening. About 2.5 weeks into our practice, Coach Paget contacted the coaches at Copper Hill, and they came to Epworth for a scrimmage. And this was our first opposing team action at West Fannin. That day we faced several teammates of the future: Earl Wadarp, Don Carter, Ron Jabley, and others. As the season began that September, I had the privilege of scoring West Fannin's first touchdown. 1956 was a tough year for me. I broke my leg midway through the season and didn't get to play much football at all, although I did in the winter play basketball and baseball in the spring. 1957 was my senior year, and we had a new coach, Charlie Ernest. Our team gelled, and we had great chemistry, and we worked hard together. Our school was a AA school, and AAA was the highest classification in Georgia at that time. We as seniors walked into some tall cotton our 3rd year in football. We beat Cartersville, Calhoun, Lafayette, and Cherokee County, teams that had and still have strong programs. We were primarily a running team. Our line had Ron Hartness, the late Don Carter, Ken Sisson, the late Ron Jabley, the late Ron Davenport, the late Wendell Ash, and Joe Stepp. These guys paved the way for Earl Arp, Billy Chastain, my brother Carlton, and myself. Our team had very good athletes that worked hard and played hard. That 1957 team drove a stake in the ground as we ended 6-3-1. This was the best record shared by other teams that West Fannin ever had, and I am proud to have been a member of that team. After the season, I was honored by the Atlanta Constitution, the Atlanta Journal, and the Associated Press as an honorable mention All-State player for 1957. In the spring of 1958, Coach Ernest started the West Fannin track team. Our mile relay team consisted of my brother Carlton, the late Billy Franklin, Rennie Guthrie, and myself, and we placed second at the regional track meet, which qualified us to represent West Fannin at the state track meet that year. In the fall of '58, I walked on at the University of Chattanooga. The fourth morning of two-a-days, I injured my knee, and that ended my football playing days. I finished the year at UC, and then I transferred to the University of Georgia and finished in June of 1963. During that time, I did rehab on my knee, and I've continued running and have participated in many road races in the Middle Tennessee, East Tennessee, North Georgia areas. And I've done 6 or 7 Peachtree road races on the 4th of July in Atlanta. In December of 1980, I ran a marathon in Huntsville, Alabama in the time of 3 hours, 36 minutes, and 46 seconds, which was really good for me. My wife Jane and I are scuba divers. I started diving in 1996, and Jane started in 2003 at the age of 59, which I am very proud of that fact. We have had the privilege of diving around several Caribbean islands, islands in the Southwest Pacific, to include the Great Barrier Reef of Australia. I served in the U.S. Army. My active duty, National Guard, and Army Reserve time totals 35 years, and I retired as a colonel. This is a tremendous honor for me. As I look at the accomplishments of the men and women in this elite group, I am deeply humbled to be allowed to join. I am most honored because I'm joining my brothers, Carlton and Robert. I want to thank my family for their support in coming far and wide to be with me this day, to accept the honor I am receiving. I also want to thank my friends who have come to be with me and share this time. Lastly, I want to thank the Fannin County Hall of Fame Committee for their vision, for their dedication, and for the hard work that they do each and every day. Thank you.